Hello. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is the 155th episode of the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Thank you for being here. Welcome, wherever you are watching from. We want to thank you for being here. If you're not watching on YouTube, you are missing out. YouTube is where you will get the very best experience from. And the only reason I say that, it's not because of me. You'll get me the same on Twitter or Facebook or wherever else you're watching or listening to this from. However, if you like to interact with the other commenters and the other people that are watching this in live time, then YouTube is the place to be, because that's where the majority of our viewers and listeners and watchers and commenters are from. So you might consider that. If you are new to YouTube and you're new to this show, I ask you to please hit the like button. I ask everybody to hit the like button. I promise you, you will like something that we talk about. You'll probably dislike something that we talk about at some point, but you'll like something that we talk about. You'll have to, I promise. You just have to. That's the rules. I didn't make it up, but it's just the way that it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we want to ask you to hit the bell and to comment if you're watching live, or comment if you're watching on repeat, and share the show with everyone else. K-Mama says, I do miss seeing and interacting with the community when I watch on replay later, when I don't get to watch it live. I've had a lot of people say that they will watch it live or whatever, but watching it live, they will watch it in repeat or whatever, but watching it live is better because you're able to comment with the folks and do all of that. So, I guess that's something that you might want to keep in mind, because you can only really do that. You can also comment from wherever you're from, but understand that when you do that, you can comment and you can see pictures that of the comments that Kate puts up on the screen, but you can only see the ones that she puts up on the screen. There are other comments that don't make it to the screen, so remember that. Hey, before we get started, it is very important. I do want to mention two things that are going on here locally in Delaware County for this current upcoming election. And as I know of more things for people that I'm backing or supporting, I will tell those things as well. But I do know of two things that are currently coming up. One is this Amber Green for County Council bowling fundraiser. It's this coming Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday fun day. That's going to be Sunday the 10th at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Clancy's Village Bowl at 4805 North Wheeling Avenue, Muncie, Indiana. To book your team, contact 765-717-9300 and get a hold of somebody on Team Green. Amber Green is a Republican candidate running for county council. She is a friend of mine, someone that I am backing. It's $50 per team, max of 4 people on a team, $25 lane sponsors, $100 event sponsor, door prizes, food, and fun. And you'll be able to hear from her and maybe others that show up there. So keep that in mind. That is this Sunday. And then next Friday, the following weekend, re-elect Ryan Webb for county council. Chili cook-off Friday, March 15th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Located basically back at that same place, the Carolina Room, which is above Clancy's Village Bowl. The event sponsors are $100, table sponsors are $25, and anybody can enter their chili. If you want to enter your chili to say, hey, I got the best chili in the world, and you want people to taste it, you can enter it for $25. if you don't cook and you just want to go and eat, hey, that's cool too. It's $10 to admit one adult and $5 for kids. This should be a fun time, so check that out as well. All right, now that we are done whoring for the candidates that we like, we will now talk to you all. How are you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry about last night. So last night I was getting things ready. I was getting everything ready for tonight. And I was like, man, I really don't have much to talk about. We're kind of in that hurry up and wait thing. And I kind of thought, hey, if Rose Selby can make excuses, so can Kristopher Bilbrey. And I was like, I'm not getting my emails that I'm trying to get. Muncie City Council's not getting emails that they're trying to get. So I thought, you know what? I think we'll just call it off. And I went and kind of had a chillaxed evening out at the grandparents' house and did that and sat back and relaxed. And we are here tonight, and that's what matters. I'm here, you're here, and we're all going to be here together. Kate says she wants to see Amber have a better crowd than King had. I think that should be doable. I think that's going to be pretty much hands down. Now, there are obviously candidates running for different things. That being said, I think it will say a lot that there will be a larger crowd for a council candidate than a commissioner candidate. Will probably put him to shame. So, I think that'll be interesting to see. Hello, Paula. Hello, E-Jack. Hello, K-Mama. Hello, Brenda. Hey, I got your messages. I will try to get back with you, Brenda. I didn't mean to just avoid you. I did see them and then I got tied up. So I don't want to wake you. I'll send them back on Messenger either tonight or tomorrow. I will get back and respond to you. Hello, Alva. I hope you're doing well. Jeff Walls is here. Hey, Jeff, I hope you're doing well. I've been seeing that you've had some issues going on, and I've been keeping you in my thoughts and prayers and hope you guys are doing well. I don't know exactly. I'm not going to talk about your issue here because it's not just like your friends, on Facebook. It's like your friends, But I don't know exactly what you've going on, but I've had some kind of issues. I've had kidney stones. I guess I'll say that. That doesn't really say much, but so I know that kind of stuff can be bad, and I hope whatever you're going through gets taken care of quickly. That's not fun at all, and so I hope they take care of you, brother. I hope that's taken care of. Hey, we have some political things to talk about. We will be talking about the city of Muncie. We will be talking about some Delaware County stuff. We will be talking about some Henry County stuff. And then we will be talking about some election stuff. Hey, Joey. I was just getting ready to say, I don't think Joey's here. I hope Joey's okay. But then Joey popped in. So welcome. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Right now is just kind of that weird thing where it's just kind of like not much is going on. We're kind of in the hurry up and wait stage of all of the election stuff. I did want to tell some folks something that I was asked to say, and right as I started to say it, it left my brain. I don't know what I was asked to remind you guys. So let me go back down here and see. So Dr. K asked me to ask something, and I didn't ask me to say something, and I didn't really understand what she was getting at. So I'm going to try to do prayers for Stumblefoot News, brother. Hey, wait, what happened? What happened? What happened there? Sorry, we'll get back to this in a minute. What happened there, Kid Rock? What was something going on? Ooh, what's your crazy news, Karen? Karen O. Oh no. Is he responsive now? Is he responsive now? Never a good thing. No, still not responsive. Ooh, man. Yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with his brother, and I'll send him a private message when we get off this. Man, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. Well, yes, definitely thoughts and prayers for that gentleman. Continued thoughts and prayers. This is like the prayer circle. Continued thoughts and prayers for my grandparents, my grandmother's kind of. She's anxious to get out of there and wanting to get out of there, and it's just kind of all the craziness still going on. She's still in the nursing home, so she's got a doctor's appointment the 21st. So just keep her in your thoughts and prayers as well. And he's with him right now. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Well, you tell him that we're thinking about him. And if you guys need anything, let me know. Let me know if he needs anything. Please, you guys get in contact with me and let me know if there's anything I can do to help or whatever. I'll do whatever I possibly can do. So definitely let me know. Okay, well that's all the show. Everybody's sick and dead, and the world sucks. Let's go to bed. So the that made me think.
Catherine, Dr. K had something to.
Yeah. On Dr. K, I'll get back to her.
Get back on track, man.
Yeah, right. Sure will. Thank you. It's his last family member. Yeah. That's I'll definitely keep that. Yeah. And let me know. Like I said, definitely contact me if you need anything. My grandmother used to read the Three Little Bears to my uncle, her son, and she would read him the long version of the Three Little Bears, Goldilocks and the Three Little Bears. And sometimes at nighttime, she would be tired and she would tell him, I want you to tell me the story. And he, not wanting to tell the whole story, what would he say? Ate the soup all up, broke the chair all down, and went to bed. That was his quick story. So he would want her to tell him the great big long story as to try to get him to go to sleep. But when she would do the whole reverse thing, well, no, you tell me the story. His story was ate the soup all up, broke the chairs all down, and went to bed. So that's what I was just thinking of when I was like, okay, well, everybody's dying. Everybody's dead. Let's get off here and go to bed. That's what made me think of that there. All right, so back to Dr. K. I don't really understand this message she sent. I think I know where she's going with this. She actually asked me this last night and didn't know I wasn't doing a show. She wanted me to talk about the situation. The message says, can you do me a favor tonight on the show and talk about voter registration? Can you talk about how if you turn 18? I don't really understand, because she says, can you tell me if you turn 18 before the elected candidate takes the seat that you can vote? Now, here's the question. Is that 18 before January 20? Because that's when the president takes the seat. Or is that January 1 for your county? I don't know what she's talking about. I do know that she's talking. I do know, for example, like me, I voted in the May election when I was 17. Oh, is that what you're going to talk about? Come back up here. What were you saying?
I was really confused. Before someone takes seat.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was just before the election, like the general election. You could register and you could vote in the primary and the general.
Yeah,
as long as you were 18 before the general.
I don't know what she's talking about here. If I thought maybe she would be here. The rule is, the rule is.
Doesn't she have a town hall thing tonight?
Yeah, but I think that ended like an hour ago.
This is Catherine.
Well, yeah. Let's see.
She's still chatting with voters, I promise.
That's probably no, it looks like it's over. Well, that doesn't mean she's not there talking to people. I'm sure she's outside still going and going and going. So we'll ask her when she gets on, but I think I know where she's going with this. And I just don't get what she was talking about, it being the president, because it's got nothing to do with the president. And this is just statewide. This is like just in Indiana. I don't know if this has anything to do outside of Indiana. In the state of Indiana, if you have if you're underage, if you're young, if you're a youngin' watching this, or if you've got kids or grandkids or nephews or nieces, remind them, or maybe inform them, rather, that if they're 17 years old right now, and they're going to be 17 on Tuesday, Election Day in May, but they will be 18 before the general election. It's got nothing to do with any candidates. It has to do with them. So, for example, when I was 17 years old in January, I was really excited because my birthday's in July. I turned 17 in July of one year. We went through the rest of that year, that January. It was filing time. I was really excited because I paid attention to who was running. And I was like, this is cool. I'm going to get a vote in the primary. When the primary came in May, I was 17 years old. But because my birthday falls in July and I would be 18 prior to the Tuesday, November election day, I was able to go in and vote as a 17-year-old. And I was so excited. I was so excited. Please check on that and make sure you're correct, because I thought if you turned 18 December 31st, the day before the new candidates took office, you could vote in November. Listen, as far as what goes on down there, I've got no clue what goes on. But I can tell you, in the state of Indiana, 1,000%, you can vote in an election in Indiana in May as a 17-year-old if you turn 18 before the voting day. So, and the other thing is, keep in mind, Alva, if you're talking about the president doesn't take office on January 1st. The president doesn't take office until the 20th of January. And that's what I think Dr. K was asking. So, I don't know about all of that.
I just looked up the code, and Indiana, it is 18 at the general election.
That's what I thought. So, no matter what happens with presidents, no matter what happens, take the president out of it in the state of Indiana, as long as your birthday, like, for example, okay?
And Ohio's the same.
Okay, Ohio's the same as Indiana.
Yes.
So this year, the general election will fall on Tuesday, the 5th of November. So as long as your birthday is the 4th of November or before, you can vote in May. So as long as that happens, that you vote, you can vote in May if you turn 18 on the 4th of November or before. So, and it sounds like that's the same in Ohio as well. See your state for further information, and that might happen. And it's got nothing to do with president. It's got nothing to do. It's just it has to do with you as the person. So that's that. So now we've got that out. And also, while we're talking about, we'll flip the script. We'll do the election stuff first. The voters registration is still currently underway. Kate has it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can register to vote by going to www.indianavoters.com. That's www.indianavoters.com. Indianavoters.com. Indiana Voters has an S at the end. So you can go there. It's very, very, very easy. It takes you, if you have your driver's license or your state ID issued or your governmental issued ID, it will take you 5 minutes or less to register. It'll take you even less if you're going to update, or even less if you're just checking. It will be very quick. It's very easy. It's very fast. Boom, bang, pow, you'll be done. But you have to do that. You have to do that on or before the strike of midnight on April. It's not around. On Tuesday, April 9th. So that means you have to be registered by 11:59 p.m. on Monday, April 8th. And the kind of cool thing with that, if you look at it, is this. I've kind of started changing my opinion on it a little bit. But if you are registered, then you can go and cast your vote the very next day. The very next day on Tuesday the 9th. Now, I'm starting to not really be a fan of that. And I'm kind of looking at that differently. I have been the last couple of elections, specifically after talking to a candidate running for Indiana Secretary of State. I've changed my mind on this a little bit. But this is very important. And as Kate has said right here, and this is so freaking important, the primary election is very important. The precinct committee people are elected during the primary, but even throw the precinct committee people out. Even throwing them out, okay? Let's be very clear. This election, in so many ways, is going to be made or broken. Made or broken. It's going to be won or lost in May. If we're talking about your county or your state government, in a lot of cases, I'm not talking about the presidential election. You need to look at this 2024 election as it's two different elections. We have a presidential election that is wildly important. And once we get past May, we're going to focus on that more. But from now until May, we must do what we can to get people registered and ready and voting in May. Now, to go back here quick to Mike's question. Does your employer have to give you time off to allow you to vote? And what I think is just an absolute travesty, the answer is no. Here's the deal. In the state of Indiana, you are eligible to vote on election day between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And that means as long as you and your body is physically in the chute, if there's a line outside and you get there at 4 o'clock and it chugs along, and it turns 6 o'clock and you're outside the building, but you're still in the chute, you get to vote. Your body has to be in the chute to be able to vote at 6 p.m. if it's after. So you have a 12-hour span of time. Some people say, hey, I've got to be in work at Indy at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I work from 7 to 7, and it takes me an hour to get there. That absolutely sucks. But that doesn't mean you're not going to vote. All this means is you're going to vote early, or you're going to vote by mail-in. Now, look, I don't like early voting anymore. I'm not a fan of early voting. Okay? I am not a fan of mail-in voting. But listen to me. Do not miss the chance to vote because you can't get off work. If you know that you can't get off on election day, then you can do one of a couple things. If you don't want to mail in your ballot, there will be voting satellite places that will be open and operational for 28 days before the election. So starting April 9th, Tuesday, April 9th, you can go and vote in your county in person at a machine. If you're like, that doesn't help me because I work Monday through Friday. Never fear. The 2 Saturdays before the election day, there will be satellite polling places open. Okay. Saturday, May 4th and Saturday, April 27th. You can vote in your county in Indiana. Keep in mind, this is only for Indiana. I apologize, but this is only for Indiana.
Could we find the satellite places for the surrounding counties so everyone knows?
Yeah, we'll put them up. I've got them. Yep, I've got them.
Of course you do.
I've got them. I'll make a little Canva thing, and we'll get them up as we get closer to that. So keep in mind, 6 to 6 on Tuesday, election day. If you can't get off because your boss is a nutter and a pain in the ass and you can't get off, then you understand that you can vote in person at a box starting 28 days before on Tuesday, April 9th. And if you're like, well, I can't get off through the week, then you can go that Saturday. And if at all, okay, if you can't get through that, all right, then what you can do is you can, at the very last option, ask your clerk for a mail-in ballot, and you send that in, and you can put that right back out. Oh man, Mike Jones. If only Mike Jones knew how of little importance he was. And the thing is, I feel as if, listen, he really truly knows how. Hey, Mike Jones, lick this. Oh, you can't see behind the screen. If only Mike Mike does realize of what little importance he is. That's the reason he's out doing this type of, oh, look at me, UAW 1970s thug style. I'm going to flatten your tire and bust your kneecap. I'm going to tell all the employees, you better be scared. You better be scared of Brand. You better vote for King. I get it. I get it all. I get every bit of it. I get every bit of it. All of the old Union thuggish type tactics. Go on and do it, bro. Because here's the thing. When those people go into the voting booth and they're by themselves and they can press the button, you know, I wouldn't listen. I understand how parents are wanting to take care of your kids and all. I think your daughter and her family, they're probably going to get a still eat, because I'm sure that the county commissioners probably won't get rid of Bookout doing his thing. They should. Absolutely, they should. Absolutely, they should. Absolutely, they should get rid of them. But they probably won't. So that'll be good. I assume just you, as the official mole stamp licker for the county, will be jobless at that point. And so that'll be the thing. And that's the opposite. That's the other funny thing. I am further from 0 and 30 than you could even imagine. What in what scoreboard are you talking about there, Mr. Jones? There's nobody that's all won or all lost. It's politics, you squirrel. We've all had wins and losses, bro. So you understand how it goes. Being a longtime Democrat that you are, you know how it goes. There are wins, there are losses. Everything's good to go. You'll be just fine. But yeah, that's true. Alva's Alva's going to be the new book out. Hey, that would be just fine. Absolutely. I can't wait. I love it. I love it. What was the other thing? So we talked about the mail-in. If only that was true, Mikey. If only that was true. You'll be all right, though, bro. I'm glad you're here, though, man. I love it. I love every second that you watch. All of the time that you spend. It's weirdly flattering, I guess, how obsessed you are. You're probably my biggest fan. So I'm happy for that. Hey, mind you, stand by one second. I do have something to show you. And before Mike, look, Mike has specialized in, I just saw this. They've been showing this around today. And I didn't know that they had actually started posting these King flyers. Hold on one second. I'll show you these King flyers. They started doing this, and you know, we put up a flyer for Amber earlier, and we put up a flyer for Webb. And I know most people would be like, "Wait a minute, why would you put up a flyer for King? You don't support King." And I'm like, yeah, you know, though, I can appreciate good art when I see it. And so I do have to give these guys credit for this amazingly beautiful artwork that they put up on this. Yeah, I know. Determined that you and your family don't lose your jobs because the other guys win. I get that determination, bro. You're gonna be okay. It's all right if you don't have a government job. You'll be all right. Let's see here. Look at this. This is amazing. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. The writing didn't show up very well. Well, crap. Hold on. I'll have to see if there's another way if you guys can see it here. People on social media will see it, but I guess I'll show it to you this way, and I'll read you what it says. That way you guys can get the full effect of it. Okay, stand by here one second. Make sure you guys get the full effect of this thing. Okay, so basically what this thing says is, it says meet and greet. Okay, it's beautiful. It says meet and greet. All right. with James King, Thursday, March 21st, 2024, 5 to 7 p.m., Knights of Columbus. And then down the fancy writing down at the bottom says, and it's the fancy writing down here at the bottom, says, enjoy fingerings from Stamp Licker Mike Jones and get the chance to hear from James King breathe heavily into the mic as he talks all about the things that he hates about being an elected official. Then stick around as Jessica Piper sings the Purdue fight song and does a few cheers while Eugene Whitehead bobbles his head in agreement with her, even though she won't have actually said anything. And finally, Brad Bookout reminds the sparse crowd wearing Stone Cold Steve Austin WWF shirts how much like them he is wearing his $5,000 suit and $900 shoes. And if you're lucky enough to be able to put your phone on that little blue square and actually see it, I've even heard you get a surprise. So check this out. I guess the King team is posting this out everywhere. I know as soon as I said that Joey was going to get mad because of the fact that I said Stone Cold. I know. I should have been like, I was going to say Degeneration X, but I feel the same way about them too. So like I didn't want to say, yeah. And then what's this deal? I like the deal. Well, here's the thing. The King team is pushing how the big bad star press wouldn't post their article, their press announcement. It's not they wouldn't push his press announcement. They didn't put anybody's in. They did not put anybody's in at that time. Kate says, don't forget King's post about how the Star Press refused to post his campaign announcement because he was too accomplished. That is very true. Good. I love it. Good laugh. Okay, so I think we've covered all of the troll talk. I think we've covered all of the election talk. And now moving on to the... Oh, hey, look, it's time. I want to do this. We've not done this in a minute. And so I feel like it's probably a good time to do this because we are going to get back to that State of the Union just briefly. I'm not going to spend all evening on it because you'll see why here in just a moment. But we've got a couple different things we're going to talk about from both Muncie, Delaware County, and Henry County. But I wanted to bring one of these up to date because we are listening. There are a couple of things that I'm specifically watching for out of these, so we will be watching these. Okay, let's listen. Here is a 4-minute Board of Works meeting. Let's watch this.
That iron tablet.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the March 6th meeting of the Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Ted Baker.
Present.
Willow Mauer.
Present.
Linda Gregory.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Consideration of the February 28th meeting. We have the minutes to present.
I move approval of the minutes for last week's meeting.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Next, we have been presented the register of claims by City Controller Craig Wright. We're welcome to the podium, sir.
Good morning. Just a couple things I want to point out. This is credit card week, so a few extra claims on there. So we had that, our usual utilities with Indiana, Michigan Power for the street lights and traffic signals. Did have one significant.
And Craig, if you could hold up just a minute, I don't think you're on. What color is it? Craig, try it now. Okay. Linda, are you on? Okay, good. Sorry about that.
Tricky
No problem. I'll go ahead and start over. We had credit card week, so a few extra claims to go through. We did have one significant claim on page 12 for the total. It was on $249,000 or $249,400, and that was to Ben Care. That's for a new ambulance, CMS ambulance. We also did a second run of utilities with Verizon and Indiana American Water last week for a total of $6,412.67. And with that, I will just open and update any questions you might have.
How about you, Linda? Do you have any questions?
No, I don't really have any. Thank you.
Likewise.
Yeah, I don't either. Well done again. Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes? The claims as
I move
presented?
approval of the claims totaling $946,630.01.
I'll second.
Okay, any comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. We have some requests for street closures.
Nobody here.
And nobody here to present those, so we'll put those on hold. And they have time since they're like for August.
Plenty
So,
of time.
yes, plenty of time. So we appreciate their diligence to get this done early, but
Do they need to be notified that they need to have somebody here?
When he turned in the applications, I verified that he would be here for today's
Okay.
meeting, and he said yes.
Okay. So they knew.
okay. Well, it's like we have time, so that's okay.
Yeah.
The agenda was very light today. We don't have anything on the community development quotes either, do we? Okay. Well, any other comments or questions we want to present to the board this morning? Okay, having none, meeting adjourned. Very.
Woo! It's like, whoa, man, we got through it in like 3 minutes. It's like we couldn't have even done like the like a little bit longer detailed version of looking through the claims or anything. We'll just do it in 4 minutes. I'm sure it'll be fun. What'd she say? I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Hey, I'm sure it's fine. Whatever. I'm sure it's fine. Good Lord. When it's a welfare check without checks and balances funded. You know it, Jack. Ridiculous. Absolutely. Crazy, man. Hey, yes, Catherine. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I know I watched a little bit of your town hall. You did a good job. Yes, we talked about that. You'll have to go back. That was a whole big thing. But we did talk about that. And Stumblefoot, hello there, bro. I'm glad you're here. Your Kid Rock told us about your bro, man, and we offered some thoughts and prayers, and I'll be keeping him in my thoughts and prayers and passing that along to others that pray. And I'll shoot you a message after the show tonight. But if you guys need anything or whatever, if there's something I can do, please get a hold of me. It's a horrible situation, man. I hate it. And we'll just be praying and hoping and praying for the best. So if there's anything that we can do for you, let me know. And I'm glad you're here. So that's awesome. Okay, so I wanted to play that Board of Works because the reason I played it is I'm waiting for them to be talking about all of these change orders that they need to be talking about with the Muncie City Crisis Center at Workman's Bar. They have done some work there that, in my opinion, is outside of the scope of what was approved for the work. Okay. And I'm telling you, at some point, they're going to have to come in and deal with this. I hope they're not getting paid for it because they haven't put any of that forward. So I guess here in a little bit, I'm going to have to do a records request looking for their payment, or have to go back through the claims, I guess we could do, and look and see if they're getting paid, because if they are, I don't know how they are. Well, let me say it a different way. The only way it could be happening is if they're getting paid out of, does anyone want to take a guess what fund that they could be getting paid out of? Kate's going to say it. Let's see if she can say it before anybody types it. You going to tell me?
Edit.
Ah, yes. You and Joey about got there at the same time. Kate beat Joey by just a little bit, but yep. Oh, there's Brandon Clover.
Brandon.
Everybody's saying
Slush fund.
I've got that. I was first. He says he beat the kitty fund. Hey, yeah, that's that by 1.5 seconds. That's oh well. There might be a little bit of a delay, like on our end, so maybe Joey won. We'll have to go back and see on the official check. Did you cut your hair, Kate?
I cut my bangs.
Oh well, somebody. Me too. Can
the
you
rest
see?
of it is still here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right.
I trim my bangs.
I thought, I got to looking last night, and I'm like, you know what? I might not cut my hair until, how long are we going to go? You want me to see if I can not cut it until my birthday in July? I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I don't know if I could go that long. I don't know. My daughters had their bangs involuntarily cut thanks to Close Foam. I'm going to PJ's tomorrow, $7. What's Close Foam? What's Cloud Foam? What is Cloud Foam? Bilbrey smoking that ditchweed went hippie. Yes. Yes. Let me show you. You know, look, this is don't cut it at all. If short hair, stop growing. Like Play-Doh and silly putty. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is absolutely horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. You can't go that long without cutting that mop. Man, I know the worst part about my hair is it's thick. It's really thick. And so that's the worst part about it. But I tell you, one of the best things that I've ever seen is this. I want to show you this. Let me see if I can find this. Got to go back and find it here. Oh yeah, right here. This is one of my most and favorite things of all time. I'm going to show you this right here. I didn't know I was going to do this. I love this picture. So I've got two pictures I'm going to show you here. And this is I saw this the other night and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to cut it. So this is picture number 1. Let it grow till January. Small braids may help. Oh God. Okay, let's see here. Where? Okay, right here. Yep, I got it. All right, we're opening this up. Bilbrey running to mic puncture. Well, I don't even understand what's going on. All right, look at this. This is Beetle George Harrison with his father, who that's a pretty long haircut for him. Even then, he normally kept his hair really like high and tight, and that's pretty long there. And he never really liked the long hair. But in later years, George actually got him, after the Beatles broke up, George got him to join him on the road, and his clean-cut, really uptight father let his hair down and grew it into this. Look at this magnificent hair right here. This is what I want to do right here. This is Beetle George Harrison's father with him in later years. Let his gray hair go. And
yes, but does your hair get these beautiful waves and curls like his does?
I think, well, so let me tell you, because I think it probably would or could, because my father had very, very curly hair. And I think you can kind of see how it starts to flare up here on the sides. I think it probably would if it was real long. I don't know. And it scares me because I don't know that I could go. I'm trying to think. The longest I ever went was, the longest I ever went was probably
2 months, about where you're at now.
What?
2 months, about where you're at now between haircuts.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close to long. We're getting close to as long as it's ever been. And normally I just can't deal with it. It's like I am like, it drives me insane.
My 3 youngest had hair down to their butts before they ever got a haircut. And it grew in these beautiful blonde ringlets.
Yeah.
And it was only when someone said something about what a pretty little girl out in public with their dad present that he finally consented to let them get their hair cut, because he was living vicariously through them.
Yes. They look like Robert Plant's kid. Well, yeah, I didn't. Who said that? Ryan?
No.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I don't know. We'll try to see.
I think we should just like shave it on the show.
Oh God, no, that is the one thing I will not do. I will either try to let it go long, or I will at least get a haircut, but shaving it is not an option. I've done that, and I can't do that anymore because I don't have the head for that. I do not have the head for it. I did that for so many years, and I can't do the shaved or the high and tight cop cut type of crap any longer.
The smile, why am I smiling talking about him shaving his head? It's because I'm married to the most beautiful man in the world, and look at that.
How often do you have to do it to keep it like that cut? See, that seems like once a week. That seems insane. I would think you'd have to do that like daily.
No.
Oh. Yeah, that's crazy. So if he let it grow, what would it do?
he would look like Boss Hog because this doesn't grow, but this does.
Right. Okay.
So
Right.
it's the no. This is sleek and
Yeah. I can deal with that if you've got the head for it. He's got a head for that. We used to get
it's
our
called
head.
the Niles Shine. That's
Yeah.
right. And it's a thing of beauty. And then he's got all of this.
We used to get our hair cut when we would go down to Florida. Always like right before we would go to Florida, my brother and I would always get our heads like buzzed down like with razor, buzzed and then razored. And we came back and we always looked like the little Ethiopian kids that like had the blow. Like my brother's like really small and I'm like the big kid, and we're all like got like these burns on us because we've got sunburn from being in Florida, and our heads are burnt because we have had hair and literally cut it right before we went to the sun state. You know, it was horrible. So yeah, I got a charity. See, I could cut it. We could do that. I could let it grow and let it grow and let it grow, and then cut it off for like locks of. You can't do locks of love because they make the people pay for it. But you could do. My ex-stepdaughter used to donate to Pantene beautiful locks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you could borrow Trump's hair. I'm sure he must have a spare one or two. Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah, the beard and the mustache really complement the shiny head. It's just this whole
it looks good.
Fantastic, very manly look he's got going for him.
I love it.
I like it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not. It works on Niles. I'm not a big fan of facial hair with short or no hair, but it works on Niles perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of face and head.
Distinguished.
Yeah, it's like
rainwater. It works for rainwater too.
Yeah. But they could be like brothers or uncle and nephew. Something. You know.
I don't know. Okay.
Husband
anyway.
one and brother husband.
Oh God. That's just a horrid thought. I'm gonna go away now.
All right. See
Ooh.
All right, back to politics. Good Lord. It doesn't take Niles long to wash his hair, but it takes 3 times as long to wash his face. Absolutely. All right, back to politics. So, Muncie, I've been following what's going on with the Board of Works, but nothing. So I'm going to have to go through the claims. I didn't want to have to do that, but I'm going to try to have to figure out when we are paying for these change orders. And for specifically change order wise, I can tell you, I am looking for what or who allowed them and what they're getting paid for busting up the footer, taking the footer out of there, the busted up footer, and pouring all brand new concrete. Okay. That's a really big thing because we all told them that they were going to need to do that. And they were like, oh no, we can do it without that. And lo and behold, look, they had to do that. You know, it is what it is. So I'm going to be looking for that. I've got their record request sheet pulled up because I am going to be sending that off. I do want to let everybody know I was I kind of decided today, based off of what the woman did at the end of the Muncie City Council meeting the other day with the emails. I was kind of decided based off what she did, I would create a test. And so I did. And this is the test that I did. Okay. Stumblefoot, I'm going to get to that. We're definitely going to be talking about that. I'm glad you brought that up. So, if we all recall at the council meeting the other day, I just want to make sure that everyone is familiar with what we're talking about, at the council meeting the other day, there was a woman that came forward and she was a little upset with them about how they were not properly conducting business as elected officials, as the elected council of Delaware County, because they were not appropriately answering or returning emails. And I just to make sure that we're all on the same boat here, I'm gonna play
The
this
week
here for you.
prior to and the week of our work.
I don't know how I killed that. I knew I did it as soon as I did it. And tight. Killed it as soon as I hit play.
Emails listed on the city website, including the personal email of Mr. Dishman. Yet I was disappointed to not have heard back from a single one of you, several of whom I interact with at many other community events. At the IDEA conference this weekend, I was even more disappointed when one of the city council members made a point to encourage citizens to contact you through the emails you have listed on the city website. In the future, I would just like to ask you all to get to know us community members so you know who's in the room with you when you make public comments such as those. And I also ask that you regularly check your emails and attend more community events that allow for in-depth dialogue with one another and that build bridges and foster relationships, just like the ones you all missed in February. I emailed you and I didn't receive a response, and I didn't know that you were there. So I apologize for not seeing you there, but I just am encouraging you all to participate in that.
Understand.
Okay, thank you for letting me know though.
Mr. Dishman knows, and he's having that same problem with his email. The last month, I have not been able to access any city email on my computer, iPad, and I think that's the problem with most of us. They did change our emails and they changed how they do things. And I can show you my iPad tomorrow. You can hit the inbox. Nothing since December has shown up on my, so the council members are calling me and letting me know I had to take a picture of Mr. Gibson's email today because they changed our emails and it's not overlapping. So I apologize that most of us are having difficulty receiving emails.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question then?
Please do.
So you said you've had this issue since basically the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
How long did it take for everybody to realize they were having this issue since it's been 2 full months?
I took my iPad to them and it worked for a day because I had to take off work because you have to physically bring your iPad
For
to sit
techno.
there with their IT person. because you have to
right.
put your-
Point, Brandon.
And I went there and did it in January, I believe. It worked for a couple of days and I was just like, and it didn't.
Yeah, what
Do
kind
you
of
all receive daily emails regarding your position on the city council?
We should, some of us do, yes.
So every day someone should be, if they're noticing they're not getting emails, they should be following up with the tech assistants, right? Okay. But I do appreciate you letting me know that you're paying attention.
Management for sure is having the same problem. So
With your personal email as well, that's stated
no,
on my
my
section.
personal,
No,
the city council.
no, Dishman, I believe, is the person that also has their Gmail account connected. So did you receive my email on your personal account?
I sure didn't see.
I sure didn't see it.
Well, maybe go back and check. It's from a habit.
Yeah, right, Brandon.
Spam calling and stuff and on my phone too.
Okay, the email address I sent it from is a munciehabitat.org email, so it's pretty official.
I will check.
I appreciate that.
It is, I apologize to you.
It's okay, thank you.
But I'm having the same problem. I should have a new one in my mailbox.
Yeah, he ordered it.
Oh yeah, you guys did your selection of new tablets that you didn't have to have the ordinance for, but you were all prepared. I forgot.
Yeah,
Come
and
down there and
I've been
I'll
waiting
open
2
it too.
months. Well, since January for a new one. But it should be in my box when I go back there.
I hope so.
I hope.
Thank you guys for your time.
I hope so, she said. I hope so. All right. So that led me to do this. And this was, I sent an email. It says email check sent. 3/5/24 from K. Bilbrey. And I sent it to, basically what I did was I sent this to 4 council members. I sent this to Jeff Green, Nora Powell, Brandon, and Sarah. I sent it to Jeff Green, Nora Powell, Brandon Garrett, and Sarah Gullion. That's District 1, 2, 3, and 4. I said, good afternoon. I have been trying to send various emails to the 9 of you as council since you all took office on January 1st, and I've only heard back from 1 of you. Then last night, last night's city council, this was just last night's city council, I heard something that seemed very troubling. That is the fact that there is or has been some kind of tech issue with the emails since the start of the year. Well, it's March 5th, and the excuse of it just doesn't work and then shrugging the shoulders isn't going to cut it. So I guess first off, I want to see who gets this. I want to see who is having issues with their email and who isn't. So with that being said, I have sent this first email to Jeff Green, Nora Powell, Brandon Garrett, and Sarah Gullion. If you would, when you get this email, if you would please reply with a simple message saying that you have in fact received this email and let me know the time and date that you are sending me the reply. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay? So after that, I then sent another email to District 5 and District 6. And then after that, I sent the third email to all 3 of the at-large members. And when I did that, I let them know that I'd sent it to all of them. I'd sent it to all 9 of them. And the reason I did this is because I have had council people say, well, I can't respond back to him because it's in an email with all of them. And that's basically an open door violation. And so I didn't want to give any of them an excuse not to be able to respond. So that's why I broke the emails up the way that I did. That way, there wasn't any section of email that had more than 4 councilmen or councilwomen in it, so they could respond with no issue. So I've sent those emails out, and in response, I have received the following. Let me pull this up here. Okay, I've received an email from the, that's not that. What the hell is that? I sent an email from At-Large 3, and the At-Large 3 is William McIntosh. Now, what's interesting to me about this is, what's interesting to me about this is I sent that email, and William McIntosh followed the directions to a T. He sent back William McIntosh, 4:40 p.m., March 5th, 2024. Boom, bang, pow. That's all he sent to me. Okay? I think that that's pretty funny, honestly. Because he followed my instructions. He didn't add anything else in there. He wasn't like, yeah, I agree. We need to fix this. He just literally did what I asked him to do. And I can't hate on him for that. So he did it perfect. All right. I received back a message from District 6 council member. And that says, hi, Chris, which I'll never understand that. When I send an email out and I sign it, Kristopher Bilbrey with a K, and then somebody responds back to me, Chris with a CH. I just never get it. Maybe they do talk to text. Okay, I'll let them slide. So it says, hi, Chris. I responded to your first email, so here it is again. which, yes, I know he did. I told them that I got an email response from one person, and he was the one person that responded. So, like, it was kind of weird. He also, the first email I sent to him wasn't this. So, like, when he says, here it is again, I don't know what he means by that. And I need to make sure that he's not getting a little testy, because he's a council person for the next 4 years. We're going to be doing a lot of emailing over the next 4 years. So, like, calm yourself and just respond appropriately. He says, hi, Chris. I responded to your first email, so here it is again. Please understand that these tablets, from what I've been told, were purchased in 2012 and are very outdated. This tablet I have won't hold a charge. I have plugged it in 3 times just trying to send this email. Okay. What? Go to your desktop and send it. Go to a laptop. You don't have to use the tablet. And if we are doing that, okay, I don't know what we shouldn't only be having them send on these tablets. They should be able to access their emails otherwise. And if these people can't think outside of the box and can't create a Gmail account to be able to engage with the citizens, I think that's a problem. And ding, 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 ding. Karen and Jack with the answers. Leave it plugged in. Holy shit. Who would have thought of something like that? But Kate comes down with the good information here. They approved money for new tablets. Why haven't they bought them yet? Why haven't they done that yet? Why are we not solving this problem? What is going on? What is going on? Okay. Let's move along here and see who else replied. That was District 6. And who's District 6? Did he even tell us? No, he didn't even tell me. Hi, Chris. I responded to your first email, so here it is again. Please understand that these tablets, from what I've been told, were purchased in 2012 and are very outdated. This tablet I have won't hold a charge. I've plugged it in 3 times just trying to send this email. Okay, well, who are you? Who's District 6? Oh, that's Harold Mason. Okay. Harold Mason. Oh, God. All right. Okay. Harold. All right. So now, moving on from there, we get District 4. Okay. District 4 says received. Received. That's all it says. Received. But you didn't follow the directions. Sarah, come on. I know Sarah is intelligent out there. Why does it seem to be like communicating with these people is very similar to communicating with little children that are of a different language in a different room and they can't hear you very well? I'm like very, very confused why communication is as hard as it is. So Sarah said received. Okay, well, at least her emails are working, so that's good. Who else has sent to us? Let's see. Now, those at large, District 6 and District 4, I had checked prior to the show. I think we have a couple that we have not checked that we're going to be checking here live. And we all know how well we love doing things live, okay? First up, wait a minute. District at large. Wait, where's the other one? We have to have another one. Wait a minute. I thought we had 2 more that had responded. Give me a second. I'm looking. I'm looking. YouTube, March 5th. Facebook, March 5th. Okay. What in the hell? All right, we'll look here again. Well, okay. Apparently, we only have one other council person who's responded, and that person is. Are you ready to find out who it is? I'm real nervous. It's Nora Powell. Ready to see what her email response looks like? This is going to be the very first time I think that Nora and I have spoke. Like, is it? Is this the first time we spoke? Do you know, Kate? Have we talked before?
Since when?
Since times I can't talk about.
I think it might be.
Have we spoke before? This is going to be the first time. This is going to be scary. Because I don't know if she's going to say something stupid. All right. Hey, it's not that bad. Look. Doop, 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 doop. She says, I've received this email. This is the first email I've received from you. Okay. Not hateful, not horrible, not bad. Didn't follow instructions, but not bad. Okay? So I can give her, I mean, like, you know, what am I supposed to do with that? Like I felt like a teacher. Okay? Harold Mason didn't put his name on his homework. Sarah Gullion didn't put her name on her homework. Neither one of them followed instructions. William McIntosh gets 100%, but he doesn't get bonus points. Nora, you know, I don't know what I do with this. This is like, Sarah gets like, I mean, I gotta call that I'm gonna call hers a D-. I need to send several emails. I'm going to send, too bad Nora didn't put that in APA format. No, not in jail, just no longer putting people in jail. There's a difference. There's a difference. He's not in jail. He's just no longer locking people up. Remember, they didn't file any charges. He just got fired. So, all right. So Nora answered. So, that means, ladies and gentlemen, we are still waiting on Jeff Green, Brandon Garrett, Jerry Dishman, and I sent Jerry Dishman's email to two different emails. I sent his to the District 5 email address, and that woman is correct. He does have another email on the city website, so I sent it to both. We'll see how long it takes him to not reply to either. And then also Dale Basham and Rose Selvey. So, I mean, you know, it means all still need instructions. What's going to happen when you must instruct them of their duties? Will they follow your guide corrections? No, Karen. I'm almost convinced that they are not capable of doing that. Based off of the council meeting the other day, and based off the fact that this weird email situation is going on, I actually put out a post on social media today, and I said I posted a picture of all 9 of the Muncie City Council members, and then along with that, I also posted a just a little bit of commentary. And if I can get the damn thing to load here, I don't understand. Facebook, ever since Facebook was down the other day, it's just been having a little bit of a lag. Has anybody else noticed that? Just a little bit. All right. So I said, quick observation on the current Muncie City Council. We're into month 3 of your term. It's time to figure things out. It's time to get it going. I mean, Jeff Green, Rose Selvey, Brandon Garrett are all returning counselors. Hell, Jerry Dishman has been on the council for 16 years, and he's even been president before. That's 4 of the 9. Not to mention Nora Powell, who has served 8 years on the council. It's time to start running as a cohesive body that is looking out for the citizens of Muncie. It's time to stop making excuses for dropping the ball and let's get it going. Because it's clear from this past Monday's council meeting that Mayor Ridenour has no plans of slowing down his plans of jamming his wants and wishes through. You 9 city councilors are the last line of defense between the mayor's jam it Dan mindset. I know that Dale Basham, Sarah Gullion, Harold Mason, and William McIntosh are all newbies, but you're all intelligent people, and it's time. No more excuses. And then I shared the link to Monday's meeting, and I shared this lovely picture of them. Now, what's heartbreaking to me is Jeff Green untagged himself, Rose Selvey untagged herself, Nora Powell untagged herself, and Sarah Gullion and William McIntosh untagged themselves. I don't like that. I don't think that that's good, and I want them to not do that. That's part of the whole reason why I sent out the first email back way when I did, because I sent out an email to all of them saying, served 8 years on the council. I asked them when they first took office if, I sent them all an email, and I asked them questions like, which method of contact is your most preferred method? What is your phone number? What is your city given email? Will you be using any other city email? What is your social media that you will be using as your official social media? And what methods of contact are you planning to give to citizens? What methods of contact would you be planning to give to members of the media? And not a damn one of them responded to that thing. Not one of them. Harold Mason responded and said, hello, my shit don't work, basically. He didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing. So, hello there, Counselor Webb. We're talking about counselors and elected officials not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Who would have thought? It's kind of a thing that we do here. We're getting ready to move into Delaware County and then move into Henry County here in just a moment. But yeah, so that's really strange how they're handling this, and just very strange. So we'll see. Hopefully they will respond. The others will respond soon. I don't like that. I don't like that they're doing this. So I will see. We'll see in the future what they do. Now, the other thing that I want to play. Well, what are we doing here? All right, sorry, we froze up there for 1 second. What I did where I am, what I want to do here really quick before we move off to the county is I do want to play this Dan's community update today, because I feel like it's an important community update for us to talk about.
See, Dan Ridenauer here, your mayor. Today is Wednesday. It is March 6th, and we have a couple things we want to touch base on, and then we'll get into something big that will last a little bit longer. First of all, tomorrow, March 7th, is the first Thursday. So please come downtown. It'll be from 5 to 8 p.m. Look at the local wares and the shops and the stores downtown. And this is a monthly event that we have, and we're very excited about it. So please come down and check it out. Also, the downtown development has a new website that's up and running, so you might check that out as well. I think it's the same address, but the new website's up and running and looks wonderful. So thank you for those upgrades. Also want people to know that next Tuesday, March 12th, there is a public forum. It will be held at the Muncie Civic Theater. And this is a community arts and culture focus group that has been put together. And we're looking at, this is the community public meeting. There are a couple other meetings with the arts community and a couple other meetings with some other leadership to try and come up with what can we do as a city to increase our arts and our culture throughout the city. And so there's a study group that's looking at that. So please take advantage of that. That is, let's see, make sure I get this right. It's Tuesday, March 12th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Muncie Civic. So please join us on that evening and hear what's going on and provide some input so that we can do things that are very positive in our community. I want to go through, on the last Friday, we had the State of the City, and that was posted live on our Facebook site. But I wanted to touch base on what some of our road projects are here in 2024, so everybody is aware. I will also say that budget-wise, we're spending everything, but we only have about $6,500 that's unaccounted for in our budget. So I'll just give a brief update. We did purchase.
we're gonna pave all the roads in Muncie. We got $6,500 unaccounted for dollars here.
Just equipment a couple of years ago, received it at the end of that year. We ended up paving 3 to 4 streets with our own paving equipment and our own milling equipment using city employees. Woo! So just like a lot of us, it's not easy the first time. You get better and better the more you do it. So that first year, because it came in so late, and we can only pave if the asphalt plant is open. So once the weather gets rough, you can't, the asphalt plant is not available. You can't get the asphalt. So we were able to do a few streets, learn what we were doing. The following year, which was last year in 23, we were able to pave about three miles of neighborhood streets. So some sections were 2 blocks long, other sections were 10 blocks long, but they were some neighborhood streets that needed work done. The reason we set up this team was to help us pave some of those neighborhood streets. We still use contractors to do the larger projects. But for the neighborhood streets, the contractors don't really want to go in those neighborhood streets. They don't like the smaller activities. And so the pricing was way up. So this was a way for us to help handle that and provide some coverage into the neighborhood streets. So last year we did 3 miles, roughly 3 miles, a lot of different streets in a number of different neighborhoods. This year, we're increasing that to where we're going to be paving 5.5 miles of neighborhood streets. So I'm just going to read them off. So we're doing Elsie, Catalpa, Jackson and Woodway on the west side, Amherst just west of Tillotson, 9th Street out in front of Heacon Park, but all the way over to even to Walnut, so South Central neighborhood, 9th Street. Really excited to have 9th Street handled because we want that entrance, one of those entrances into Heacon Park to be very attractive. We'll be doing work on 8th Street, on the southwest side. Rosewood up north, we're doing MLK, starting at roughly the railroad tracks, might be at the river, but going north from there. We'll be doing the, and again, this is all funding. Last year, if people will remember, out in front of Amazing Joe's, we did some of the southbound lanes of Wheeling. Now we've got the funds and we'll be doing the northbound lanes of Wheeling. So look for some temporary closures and then freshly paved northbound lanes to match what we did southbound last year. Godman, which is an area that's a pretty rough street on the west side, going from Tillotson west. Ethel, Vine, White River Boulevard, High Street on the south side. Highland is going to be done. West Canterbury and Pershing. Those all together, the mileage is about 5.5 miles of city employees using city equipment. And our expense is buying the asphalt. We already paid the employees, so we just have redirected them and trained some of them to do this type of work. But in addition to that, we have $3 million worth of contractor work that'll be done next year. And those will include Meeker from Memorial down to 29th Street. We've already done some of the utility work has already been accomplished and some of the sanitary district work. Granville, some of that utility work has already been finished, and there's a little piece left to go. But Granville, going north up toward the mall, will be handled. We're doing North Walnut Street. Burlington, we had thought we were only going to be able to do half of it, but we've been able to work out to where we'll be doing all of Burlington from Memorial north. And then also that section from 5 Points up to the railroad tracks, Ohio. That is going to be handled this year. Jackson from Morrison to Nebo, very rough, especially on one direction. That will be handled. And then previously, 2 years ago, we did half of or part of University. Now we'll finish the rest of University, and that will take it all the way up to the Wheeling section. So, and from the campus, the part that's not finished, I think that's, I don't remember what street it is, Greenwood maybe, from Greenwood all the way to Wheeling. That will be done. In addition to that, we're already working on Hoyt. So that's under major redo, and which are actually part of the ARP funds. So that was the third and final project on the ARP funds. And so those are some of the streets that we're doing. Next, I want to just explain Tillotson and McGalliard. So to do Tillotson and McGalliard, and we've said this a number of times in Dream with Dan's, we've said it on broadcasts, and we've explained it. The city engineer has explained it at various events as well. But I want to just share it again. It's about $13.5 million now. It's getting more expensive to do all of Tillotson and all of McGalliard. Our annual budget for our street department is roughly between $4 and $5 million. So we would have to shut down the entire street department for 3 years in order to have the funds to do it by ourselves. So, and that's because of all the road cuts, all the utilities, and all the traffic and traffic control. All of those things play into the cost, and the engineering alone is about $1.2 million. So in order to make that work, we had to work with the federal government to get federal funds to help. Now, a city that's our size, we're roughly 65,000 people, they won't provide us more than $4 million in any year. So we have to break it down into 3 sections. The first section that's going to be done is part of McGalliard. That'll go from Tillotson to Wheeling. So that will cover in front of the Payless, in front of the library, Kennedy Library, in front of the Northwest Bank, all of that going the other direction, and Northwest Plaza. All of that will be done this year. Feds will be paying 80% of it. The city's paying 20% of it. And the reason we're doing that section first is because there's major work that has to be done on East McGalliard. And Tillotson, there's major utility work that's not finished yet with AEP. That has started this year, and they're going to repave once they're finished, but it's a multi-week project, a multi-month project for AEP because they have to replace their lines. So it didn't make sense for us to pave that fee. That's there's major utility work that's not finished with AEP. That has started this year, and they're going to repave once they're finished, but it's a multi-week project.
You can see where this is. So Tillotson, south of Riverside, running up, and it's still coming up to being south of Bethel here. So that's where we're looking.
Multi-month project for AEP because they have to replace their lines. So it didn't make sense for us to pave that first, which was our intention, was to pave Tillotson first. But it didn't make sense for us to pave that first and then have them tear it up and do that work. So we've coordinated with utilities, and Tillotson, well, let me finish with the McGalliard. So that western section of McGalliard that's going to be done, the funding model from the federal and state governments that will be providing the 80% is the funds will not be available till July 1st of 24, and they run through June 30th of 25. So sometime in that period, we'll receive the funds to finish that, to do that work. Once that's finished, the next year, starting July 1st of 25 through June of 26, is when we will have the funds to do Tillotson. And we'll be doing all of Tillotson from McGalliard all the way down to Kilgore. But by then, we're told that this fall, AEP will be finished with their a little over a mile of effort that they're doing for their underground lines. So Tillotson will be done next year. And then the final section of McGalliard, which is probably the worst section, will go from Broadway out to the bypass. That will be done in the following year. So the feds will provide us $4 million a year for those 3 years. We provide all the extra funds. We've already paid for the engineering, but the East McGalliard engineering, it was so it wasn't done to high standards before, so we had to re-engineer part of it, and that's why it ends up being third on the scale. But the feds won't give us more than $4 million in any 1 year. We felt it was better to make sure we had snow protection, that we could do the 5.5 miles. And so obviously we're not cutting down the street department for 3 years to pay for it ourselves. We'll use federal funds to help us, and we'll pay the 20%. So I wanted to explain that. So we've got
I have a question.
Local team.
Yep.
So with the community crossings grants, they haven't completed projects and they're not eligible for funding. So is this the same with the federal money? They're going to get it and then they're not going to get the job done in the amount of time.
The question being,
and they won't get it again?
Yeah. So the question, that's a very good question. The question being here is, number one, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on, matter of fact, when will community crossings be done? Community crossings come out in July and like October, right? So we're not ready. We're not ready for that again.
No, I thought it was April and October.
That might be. So we'll be knowing here real soon. And I'm telling you, I am going to be just a prediction. I hope we get it. Now, from everything they're saying, we are going to get community crossings this year. Because we haven't got it for the last 2 years in Muncie. That's because a lot of money.
Completed.
What? Because projects aren't completed. Because projects aren't completed. Because his MO.
$4 million worth of funding that they could have had. And then $4 million worth of matching. So it's $8 million.
No.
Worth of
Community
paving.
crossings is just $1 million.
Yeah, I know that. But isn't it a match?
Yeah,
if they give you $1 million, you have to have $1 million. So it's a $2 million project.
Yeah. So we didn't do I guess you're right. So we didn't do 2 million last year. We didn't do 2 million.
Oh, yeah.
Year
$1 million per year. Sorry.
So it's $1 million per year. So that's the thing. So we didn't get that.
He can't. What? No, that can't be right because it's $1 million cap a year.
Yeah, because it's one. Yeah, because you either get $500,000. How they do it is most large cities get their full $1 million in one go, and then they don't have to do it again. So we don't apply again. But the problem is we have to get these projects done for them to be able to do. And they keep saying, well, it's the power company. It's these other companies. They're not doing it. We're not. Well, it's COVID. I broke my leg. All this other crap they're saying. So, yeah, Alva. It's your road too, Alva. It's your road. I'll dedicate it to you. It's Alva. It's your road. I'll give you a little stretch of. I got the perfect stretch of road. I'll give you. I'll take a picture and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But Dan has all these wonderful plans when it first comes up.
Community crossings requests for projects for funding. Their first one for this year closed January 31st. So I think they give them out in April.
I think you're
They've
right.
already closed the application process.
Yeah. So what I'll do is, because I have a contact down there, I will, number one, let me write that down so I do it tomorrow.
And Alva, you are correct. They did increase it to $1.5 million this year. So the city has to match every dollar that they get from the grant. So if they get the 1.5 million, then it's a $3 million project. But that $3 million is not all grant money.
Back up. How does Alva know that?
Because he's Alva. Oh, don't you hear the angels sing every time Alva comments?
How do you know that? I don't know that. I didn't hear Dan say that. When did you hear Dan say that? Where did he say that? Wait, did you watch let me ask you a question, and we'll just end the show if the answer is yes. Did you watch Alva? Did you watch the State of the City on Friday morning? Did you watch it? I know you did. I know you did. Tell me you did. Tell me you didn't. He's not an honorary citizen. He's the mayor of Muncie. I believe it either came up in a Board of Works meeting last week. Okay. All right. That makes me feel better. Good God. That's crazy. I was like, okay, thank God. That makes me feel so good. All right. I'm good then. Because I see Alva say that it's $3 million. And I'm like, no, Alva's wrong. It's $1 million. And I let Kate say it. I wasn't even going to say it. And she's like, no, it's $1 million. And then she looks on the thing and it says there's an increase. And Alva knew that. I love that. That is so amazing. My grandpa talks about you all the time, Alva. My grandpa says, why is there somebody from Louisiana? How did he get hooked up watching you guys? And I was like, I don't know. He came through that other guy and was watching him. And then that's just it. He stuck around. I was like, really? You're not one of the longest viewers, because we've got some people here that have been here since the underwear days, back when I was walking around the yard, even before perception is reality. We've got Kate is Kate's fan number 1. And then we've got some number 2s, number 3s that are still here. But Alva is definitely in sync. Alva, I'll actually put Alva is up there in line with Jackie Fisher. If I want to know something going on that I don't know, or that Kate doesn't know, all right, we call those people before AC. We call those people before we call who? What are you talking about, Alva? That's hilarious to me. If there's something that Kate and Brandon and I can't figure out, don't know, and there's something I'm going to call Jackie Fisher, but now I'm adding Alva to that line. I love it. So, contact community crossings. I will contact them tomorrow. Oh yeah, I get it. Everybody that was listening before, before Alva, AC. Yeah, the AC people. That's hilarious. Before AC. That's hilarious. That they would be the BAC, blood alcohol content. That's hilarious. Who do you know living up here? Alva even knows street names in every town in central Indiana. I know. I know. James Lynch. Guy's always been at 50% though. Yeah. That's hey, that's also true, Karen. You just pretend it's not going on in your hometown. I can just watch all the shit show going on in someone else's. It's always better. Everything's fine down here. Look, we bury our dead above the ground. You know, that's one thing I know really about Louisiana. So, anywho, back to this. What I want to talk about this, and the reason I played so much of this is because everything that Dan is talking about here in this Dream with Dan, hey Alva, I really love that comment. That's a really good comment. I appreciate that, bro. And that we feel the same about you. Next thing you know, government will have a DUI for the internet. No shit. The thing I want to say about this is literally everything that Dan is talking about involves the street department. And to Stumblefoot's credit, even though he's got a lot of craziness going on in his life and a lot of chaos, and I understand that, I love that he commented in here and he's saying, you know, why are you talking up the street crew when you want to do away with their union like you're walking in old Governor Mitch's shoes? And I want to talk about this. Now, I've said this repeatedly. I've said this common, all right? And be very clear about how I say this. Unions and union work has done a lot for my family. Okay. I'm not a union guy, not a big supporter of unions, just not a big union person. I'll say this. We live in a different day. We live in a different age, and it just doesn't carry the same weight that it did once before. That said, I understand the importance of unions back in the day when they served a place, and they've done a lot for my family. That said, okay, I didn't put the unions in place in Muncie. They're there. They were there well before me. They'll be there long after me unless somebody does something crazy. Dan, in a million years, would never, ever, ever break or think of breaking the police union or the fire union. The moment he even had a dream, a spark of an idea about that, okay, he would disappear in Muncie. That is political suicide. He would just cease to exist. The moment that anyone had that thought about him, it would just be, he would be over. There would be no more. It would be done. Nothing is ever going to happen to the police union in Muncie, and nothing is ever going to happen to the fire union in Muncie. Because of that, nothing should happen to AFSCME. I am sorry. I'm not saying, and I wouldn't say that AFSCME does the same thing that the police or fire unions do, but that's not the point. That's got nothing to do with anything. Okay? They all do what they do. Police union is there for the police. The fire union is there for the fire. And the AFSCME union is there for AFSCME. I do kind of wish they would kind of come up with a better name. The AFSCME thing kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Okay. So that's the thing. I very much believe that Dan is screwing with AFSCME. I'm letting you know the union negotiations have broken down, and I'm going to tell you, and this is going to kill Dan. Dan's going to be like, "Oh no, how does he know this?" But I can tell you, I know why the union talk has broken down. Okay, he doesn't want to nickname Buster Dan. Oh yes. Oh yes. And I'm going to tell you, he's very, very, very close to getting that with AFSCME. Buster Dan, I guess we could be calling him that. Because let me tell you, he is wanting them to take out the us two clause, and he's wanting them to get rid to give a hard deadline to each contract. So for example, let's not talk about AFSCME right now. Let's talk about the police contract. City of Muncie and the FOP come to terms on a contract, on a 3-year contract. At the end of that 3 years, beforehand, they go into negotiations. Well, say they keep hitting button heads and they don't agree. Well, if those negotiations go on longer than the expiration date of the contract, if the contract expires, they have a clause that says we revert back to that contract and we remain under the laws and rules of everything. I guess they're not laws, rules of the contract, the agreements of the contract, until a new contract is made. Okay. And so that's in there. All right. The fire department has the same thing. If they have a contract and it expires before they come up with their contract, they revert back and they are still under that contract until they get a new one. Well, one of the things that Mayor Dan is wanting AFSCME to do, and so in case we have anybody here that says, wait a minute, what is AFSCME? AFSCME is American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employers. So it's an acronym for AFSCME. And it is a union that takes care of everybody that works in federal, state, county, or municipal places that is not a policeman, not a fireman, not EMS. So it also doesn't apply to the elected officials, and it doesn't apply to the department heads, but it applies to the secretary that works in the clerk's office, or it applies to the street worker, or it applies to, those people, some man that's the janitor in City Hall, something like that. Okay. And so it protects them. Well, Dan is wanting them to say, all right, that they don't have the same clause in their contract. So, for example, this is the perfect example. They had a contract and it expired at the end of last year. And so they have that same clause in this contract that says if they don't create a new contract by midnight on the 31st, then they just revert back, and until they come up with a contract, they're still under last year's contract. Dan wants them to take that out. Dan wants them to take that out. So they get to a point where they go over it and they're like, well, we just don't have a contract. Because what's literally happening now is they're right now in negotiations, and things might be happening and they might be filing grievances, and they are literally telling the AFSCME union people right now, as we speak, they're telling them that doesn't matter. We don't have a contract right now. And AFSCME says, oh, yes, we do. We are under the contract from last year. It is in there. The clause is there. All right. So that's point number one. They want to keep that in there. Dan wants to keep it out, take it out. All right. Point number two, and this is bad as well. The us too clause. So, for example, if the mayor sits down with the firemen and they give all of their people one extra day off a year, the police have a contract that says if they get a pay increase, if they get a uniform allowance increase, or if they get a vacation or time off increase, that basically, if you do it for fire department, you've got to do it for the police department. The fire department has one. If you do it for the police department, you got to do it for the fire department. Well, AFSCME has that same thing. So if the police department and the fire department get a increase in their uniform allowance, well, you've got to give it to AFSCME. And what that does is it basically kind of keeps them all from getting away from each other, okay? And so that's what happens. If they get a fruit basket, we get a fruit basket too. Oh, there's the fruit basket there, I can guarantee you. So the thing is, Dan is wanting them to take that out, and they're saying no. So basically, they've broken down, and I blame this on Dan. This is not the union's fault. This is Dan, this is Craig Wright, and this is the leadership. This is the attorneys for the leadership. And they are going to have to go to arbitration. This is going to go to court. Dan is doing this, and it's absolutely insane. So I think it's sick that he's spending all this time talking about, all these wonderful things, but he's treating these guys like absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. It pisses me off. And I'm very, very, very passionate about that, because there's a lot of good people that work for the city that he's trying to treat like crap. Okay, just real quick, before we get out of here, I do want to say, as far as I said, there was some Delaware County news, and I can tell you this very, very quickly. The Delaware County news is, along with the emails I sent out on yesterday. Yesterday I sent out an email to John Brook. That's the attorney for the Delaware County. And in the email, I said, this is a records request, and I am requesting the following. I am requesting an opportunity to inspect or obtain copies of the following records. All emails sent to and or from Charlie Richmond in the auditor's office and Fred Cummins from 911 with any other department head or elected official that is a part of the thread or CC'd, sent from Monday, March 4th through today's date, along with all replies to and from anyone and everyone that has replied to the email chain. Number two, I am requesting records reference the auditor's office. I am requesting the following information. All emails to and from Ed Carroll about the auditor's office remodel. I am requesting the price tag for the upgrade, including but not limited to paint, carpet, furniture, conference room, flat screen TVs. I am requesting what fund or line item this money will be coming from. I'm also requesting what council or commissioners meeting this was discussed in. And I'm requesting the total cost of the project. Who is doing the remodel, and when were bids collected first? If so, I'm requesting all of that information. and I'm requesting the total scope of the project. And then lastly, I have stated that I would like an accounting of all of Ed Carroll's hours worked Monday through Friday from the start of the year, Monday, January 1st, 2024, through Friday, March 1st, 2024. Whatever the easiest way is to determine if Mr. Carroll was working in the county building, in the auditor's office on any specific day, or did he take a day off here and there? Timesheets, pay stubs, whatever's the easiest way to account for if he was at work, when he was at work, versus when he may have taken a day off from 1/1/2024 through 3/1/2024. Now, the thing I'm going to run into here is he's an elected official, and technically he only has to work one day a year. That being said, surely to God, they've got to keep track somehow, some way, if he's working or not. I don't know, but that's what I've asked. And for the very, very first time right here, right tonight, I am going to open an email from John Brook. We will see what John Brook has to say here. And this is just very easy. This acknowledges your request for public records. A review of the request will be made and determine what, if any, records are responsive to your request. So, okay, he's opened that up and he has sent that to me, and he sent that to me on March 6th, 2024 at 12:13 p.m. So we received that, and we'll be waiting on that. I also have some more requests I'm getting ready to send his way, and he might start to get a little pissy with it, but sorry, that's your job. And then just to end, I also had sent a records request to Henry County. I did this last week, about 6 days ago. I sent a records request to the sheriff's department and to the attorney, and this is what I had requested. Under Indiana Access Public Records, I requested an opportunity to inspect or obtain copies of the following: any and all press releases about Curtis Dougherty's employment with the sheriff's department and the use of force incident from February 13th, 2024, and his subsequent suspension and the investigation, his firing, and the charges and arrest. A copy of the use of force report, along with any and all other witness statements or all other investigative reports for this incident. Any and all video surveillance from the jail and or body camera footage from Dougherty or any or all other corrections officers on the scene at the time of the incident that would have been used in the investigation. I am also requesting all arrest reports, all documents that go along with that, probable cause affidavit, and or supplemental reports dealing with the warrant or his arrest. Any and all other documentation related to the situation from the incident up top, and including the arrest and the filing of all paperwork with the Henry County Prosecutor's Office. And lastly, I am requesting the name of the victim, his mugshot, and the reason that he is in the Henry County Jail. Now, I have absolutely confirmed through several sources. I don't know the name of the person, but I have confirmed, which is all I was trying to do here, what the race of that individual is. And I do know for all 1,000%, beyond all shadow of a doubt, that the inmate that was hit with the pepper ball was a white male. I'm still requesting all of that. Now, I sent that in to Harvey on the 29th. Okay. Today, I received this from Joel Harvey. This acknowledges the receipt of your request. I anticipate further response of documents that are subject to disclosure will be available within the next 14 days. And I just wasn't having that. So, kind of being a little bit of a posh bitch, I sent this back to Harvey. Mr. Harvey, seriously? Man, I sent this on February 29th. That's already 6 days ago. Now you're telling me that it should be available within the next 14 days? Dude, I'm not asking for records from the 1970s. I'm requesting documentation from an event that has recently occurred and should be available. This is something that should honestly take minutes to find, review, and then scan and or copy. I mean, let's be crazy and say it takes 4 days to do all of that, which it shouldn't. Hell, those 4 days should have already been up. But even then, let's say today, and then the 4 days start tomorrow. That's still Tuesday of next week. If this could be expedited any faster, that would be fantastic. Unless this is just a case of Sproles pulling a Sproles. Do we know what the delay is? Or like I said, is it just the sheriff pulling a Sproles? And then I sent that to Harvey today, Mr. Harvey, Joel Harvey. So he has not responded. I don't know if he's going to like it. I don't have a problem with Joel Harvey. I don't want to piss him off, but I don't also care if he's pissed off. I think that this is ridiculous. Sproles already loves the Chris. Sproles was voted in, Bilbrey. The people want it. It's a mandate. It's a mandate. My name is Rick Hunts, inventor of the Flowbee, and I know you're going to love it. You are a flippin' idiot. Hey, Karen, I was going to get real stupid with that. I was going to say, I had to delete it like 3 times. I was going to say, and Mr. Harvey, in case you don't know what pulling a Sproles is, it is a phrase that has now made it into the verbiage of many law enforcement departments, as well as elected officials' offices and newsrooms throughout Indiana. And it is an adjective that means to drop the ball, to fuck something up, to muddle it up, to be an idiot. I was going to just say all of this different stuff, and I typed it in there, and then I deleted it because I was like, I just can't send that. I can't send that off yet, but I will. We do have a records request in for stuff pertaining to the Vegas trip, and I got something that said that they got to go through a lot of shit, and they're going to look through, and yada, yada, yada. We are within 30 days on that, so it's still going to be like that. It's going to be a minute. Remember when you and Sproles were making funny faces at each other? Oh yeah, I love it. Absolutely. And one of these days we're going to be making funny faces at each other yet again. It's going to be wonderful. I know it. I cannot wait. And let me tell you folks, I've recently heard that Sproles is stressing the fact that he's recently come to the realization that old Bilbrey here and the political spotlight seems to have the ear and the respect of multiple news agencies around Indiana. And that seems to bother old Sprolesy. So, be bothered, Sprolesy. Yeah. I do have it's not a court case being held in April. We are through the interrogatory portion. We've done that. Next up will be the depositions. And oh lordy, I cannot wait for that because I want to sit there while he's taking his deposition. I don't care. Like, look, I am the man of steel. He can be there. I could sit on his lap. He could sit on mine. I do not care. That man does not bug me, bother me, scare me, intimidate me. Not in the least. You know what? He's not a scary person. He's a child. And he acts like a child and he throws tantrums like a child. So I'm like, I have like secondhand cringe, secondhand embarrassment for him. I'm like, dude, you're just showing your ass. You're not doing anything to me. You're being an idiot, and I feel embarrassed for you because you think that you're being a tough guy. That said, he don't like me looking at him. He does not like me looking at him. And so I'll be right there. Staring at him through all the interrogatories. So, James, so we will, I've noticed that 3-vote Doden is playing the Sproles. Like, I know. I sent him, Joe, I sent the Doden campaign, the playlist, the Sproles playlist. And I was like, dude, you guys really need to take a look. There's something that's going to pop off here, real soon. And I really can't say anything more about that, but we'll be covering it here about Sproles. And when we do, I'm going to send that to the Doden campaign. And then after that, I'm going to have to say Doden has to get a hard pass from me, and he has to be looked at as like almost a window licker, because it's like, dude, if you're seriously knowing what's going on with Sproles and you're keeping him this close to you and you're looking at him as a big way to get votes, and you know that he is accused of all of this and he's causing all of this chaos and all of this shit's happening, and you still want him as a part of your election advertisement wing, something's broken with you. Something is absolutely broken. So, all right, folks, Sproles, meaning to fuck up. I sprolled my driving test. Noun, meaning a big shit. I just took a huge Sproles. Adjective, meaning insane, ridiculous. That was a Sproles move. I love it. That is absolutely great. We need to get that. We need to get that on a picture. Hold on. Let me show you this. I want to show you this. This will be the last thing, then we'll go. Hold on. I'm going to show you this picture I got right here. We need to get, hold on. Hey, Kate, can you copy that and send that to me in Messenger? That definition?
I can screenshot it because you can't, if I try to click on it to copy and paste, it just puts it on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, do that. Screenshot it because I can screen grab it off my thing. I was just going to grab it real quick to put it in Canva. I want to show you something.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Kristopher has an idea. I've created a monster. I just thought it was funny.
It's amazing.
See, but you need to get a dictionary out and look up how it's presented in a dictionary.
Yeah. I would do it with like all of the spacings and all of that.
If anybody wants to contact Alva, you look for David Coakley on Facebook.
Why are you saying that?
Because he said we could post his phone number in case anybody needs information about what's happening up here.
Jesus.
Oh, Mad Libs. That would be fun.
Yes. Oh, yeah, right here we are. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so there's one. Part 2 is here.
He'd like that. Going back to Confederacy.
Who?
Sproles.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Sproles is definitely. Yeah. That would be right.
Start calling him Bedford Sproles.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Yep, this is it. All right.
If we're doing definitions, we also need one that explains what Bilbrey unstandard time is.
Yeah, right. So basically, here we go.
He's actually creating something on Canva right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Sorry, give me a second. Yeah. Oh, they didn't know I was off screen. Sorry,
Well,
folks.
When you're not reading comments enough to know why I'm talking to Alva, that's a pretty good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, here we go. I am so happy with myself.
Yeah, you're busted. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Actually, I think technically you can. I believe it's called a revolution.
Huh.
Divorcing your government.
Okay. Ungroup. Ungroup.
Oh, Lord. Ungroup,
Please.
regroup, shift, blow up,
Yeah, right.
add italics. See, Diane agrees. Just Diane agrees. So there it is. It's called a revolution. That's divorcing your government.
Yeah. Okay.
To shave or not to shave?
Who?
I don't know. Jack asking me to shave or not to shave.
Oh.
Are we referring to facial hair? On
You'll
men?
or on that one.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid of that one.
I generally say shave, but I haven't in a long time, so screw it. Okay.
I
now
don't know.
got-
It just depends on if you can actually grow
just
a
depends,
beard.
yeah.
My son's trying to grow a beard. He's 18 and it's not working out real well for him. So he's constantly being told to go shave that thing off. Niles, all the hair from up here migrated to here. So he's got the very fantastic facial hair going on. So he's fine. And my oldest boy, when he grows a mustache, he looks like he belongs on Super Troopers, which is kind of terrifying.
God.
It's especially funny when he sneaks upstairs and steals his dad old drill sergeant hat and runs around with that on.
Wait, which one does that?
John, the oldest.
Okay, here we go. How do you... It's amazing to me when anytime you ever write something in the comments, like in the comment box, and you put the hyphen between it to space it out, like Sproul's hyphen verb.
Yes.
You know?
You mean I punctuate properly and put in correct spacing for grammatical purposes?
No. You always have the hyphen with no space next to the next letter. So like it was Sproul's, no space, hyphen.
Yes.
And I've noticed you've always done that.
Because that's the proper way to do it. And then you put a space after it.
Why wouldn't there be a space between the two?
Because that looks stupid. And that means minus.
Minus.
Subtraction. Math. There's a proper way to do things, Christopher.
All right, we're almost here. Okay, here's the spelling, or here's the Not spelling the, like the.
Oh, no, the government can have those.
Have what?
Admiral said that the problem with divorce in the government is that pesky custody battle for the Gen Z liberals. I think the government can keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, because of the Berkeley comma. Yes, and it does depend what the hyphen is being used for. Are we using it as a hyphen or are we using it as a dash? In that case, it's double hyphen, no space. I'm not using it as a dash. I'm using it as a hyphen.
Okay, here we are.
There you go, Jack. Perfect. Are you quite finished now?
No. Almost.
Why does this take you so long? I've made all kinds of amazing things in the process of a show.
Well, I had to cut
And
heads
then
off
put
of
up
things.
comments and read comments and
I had to
answer
cut.
stupid
I had to cut.
questions.
I had to cut heads off.
And look at this.
Give me 1 second here.
Make this.
Hold on, I can't see what we're doing. I'm not gonna save it. I'll just blow it up and show you. Here we go. I made his one little head thingy.
I love how you blew his head up to a normally large.
Anytime I show his body, I always do that. I've learned more from Grammarly than I ever did
with
in
the
class.
headband. For some reason, it's exceptionally noticeable.
I know. I know. Oh, good Lord.
Christopher's always lagging. He lives in permanent BUT, which is anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes after everyone else.
Ooh, no, now Kate's lagging. That was weird when you went like this. It went. That was wild. Now you are. Yeah, you still are. Yeah, there's are my new sproles. Sproles, verb meaning to fuck up. I sprolled. Wouldn't it be sprolsed? Sprolsed. I sprolsed.
We do it like Shakespeare.
Yes.
Sproles apostrophe D.
Yes. Sproles my driving test. Noun meaning a big shit. I just took a huge sproles. Adjective meaning insane, ridiculous. That was a sproles move. I love it. I'm going to work on it. All right. A coffee cup with Sproles definition, and then the Sproles head with a clown wig. Yes. I will work on these and get these up on the thing. So that's good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you know what we're looking for. We've got some stuff from the county, Delaware County we're waiting on. We've got like 3 record requests into Delaware County. We've got a record request into Henry County. I'm getting ready to send a record request into the Muncie, and we're watching what's going on. I am paying attention to what's happening with AFSCME because it is big, and we're going to cover all of that. And we took care of the election talk. And again, I want to remind you, everybody, be sure if you're interested here locally, Ryan Webb, Friday, March 15th, 7 to 9, chili cook-off at the Carolina Room. And this coming Sunday, from 1 to 4, March 10th, at the same place, basically, at Clancy's Village Bowl for Amber Green bowling fundraiser. Both of these should be a fun time, so check them both out. We will be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. And then because I wasn't on last night, we're going to do a show either Friday or Saturday. I'll let you guys know tomorrow when we're going to do it. But you guys, thank you all very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you. And we will see you back here bright and early tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, Bilbrey Unstandard Time. Hey, remember to keep all of those people that we need to keep in our thoughts and prayers. Definitely keep Stumblefoot's brother and their family in your thoughts and prayers, because that's a horrible situation. So our thoughts and prayers with you guys and your family, man. You guys take care. God bless, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night. Good night.